So guys, if you want to download Ubuntu into your system, this is where you come, ubuntu.com/desktop. Then you click on download Ubuntu. But you're going to discover that it's going to cost you 3.7 gigabytes for you to have this installed. It is an OS, okay? So it requires such amount of data and a lot of space in your system to be installed successfully. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to initialize Ubuntu Box inside Vagrant using VirtualBox, alright? Instead of downloading Ubuntu OS into your system. Okay, let's get right into it. So what we are going to do right now is download VirtualBox into our system. Then we install it, then we go ahead and download Vagrant, also install it, then we go ahead and open our command prompt and install Ubuntu Box. Alright, I just listed it here for easy installation for you guys, okay, because I want to teach you from scratch. I don't want you to make any mistake. That's why I jotted down everything right here into my notepad. So now let's go right now to install and download VirtualBox. Okay, just come to virtualbox.org/wiki/downloads. I'm going to leave the link in the description, okay, so you can easily go ahead and start your download. Okay, so if you're using Windows, just click here, so it's going to start the download for you immediately. If you're using Mac OS host, just click here, and if you're using Linux distribution, just so you click here, anyone you're using, just click here and it will start the download for you immediately. I've already downloaded VirtualBox right here into my system, and here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do the installation, but before we do that, I want us to go ahead and download Vagrant as well. Okay, so Vagrant is what we're going to be using to make this installation of Ubuntu very easier for us, all right, because Vagrant is a tool for building and managing virtual machines environments in a single workflow. So if you're a developer, Vagrant will isolate dependencies and their configuration within a single disposable consistent environment without sacrificing any of the tools you are used to working with. Okay, probably your editors, your debuggers, your browsers. Once you or anyone else creates a single Vagrant file, you just need to Vagrant up and everything is installed and configured for you to work on. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. So now you know why you need Vagrant. All right, instead of installing the old Ubuntu on your system, Vagrant is designed for everyone as the easiest and fastest way to create a virtualized environment. All right, so that is what we're going to go ahead and do in this video. Okay, to achieve Vagrant magic, Vagrant stands on the shoulders of giants. It's going to make it very easier for you to do your installation of Ubuntu into your system with an easy to use workflow and focus on automation. Vagrant lowers development environment setup time, it increases production priority, and it makes your work on your machine very easier to work on with your peers. Probably you're working on the project and you want your colleagues to start working on it as well. You can just send them your Vagrant file and they can start working in your environment just like you are. Okay, so let's go ahead and download Vagrant. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to click here to download it. As you can see right here, it's already downloading into my system. So I'm going to pause this video so I won't waste your time, and I'm going to play it back immediately it starts. Okay, if you're using Mac OS, you can just click here to install Vagrant on your system, and if you're using Windows 64-bit, you click here, and if you're using 32-bit, then you click here to install Vagrant on your system. And if you're using Linux OS, then you come here and click here to install if you're using 64-bit, and here if you're using 32-bit. all right, so this is the release date of Vagrant, and mine is still installing, as you can see right here. So I'm still waiting for it. 2 minutes left. As you can see now, Vagrant has been successfully downloaded into my system, and it is a MSI file, and VirtualBox is an exe file, yes, on Windows. So before we start the installation, let me quickly introduce myself. Welcome to my channel. I'm KAFFY, and on this channel I help junior developers attain 6 figures by freelancing their programming skills. Your coding skills can give you a lot. So if this interests you, you can do it to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and click on the bell notification so you can be aware when next I drop a video to help you make 6 figures with your coding skills. All right, so now let's just go ahead and look at our next instruction on my notepad. We've already downloaded VirtualBox. I'm very sure you've done that, and now let's go ahead and install VirtualBox. Okay, so I'm going to double click on this. It's coming up. So do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Yes, please go ahead. So it's preparing to install. Next, just be following it up. Nothing much to do from your hand. The default installation is very good for you, unless you know what you are doing. That's why you should tamper with this. Just go ahead. Next, if you wanted to create a start menu entries, you can check this box. If you wanted to create a shortcut on your desktop, and if you wanted to create a shortcut in the quick launch bar, I don't want that, so I'm going to uncheck that. So I'm only unchecking this quick launch bar. I don't want that, so you can leave it if you want. So you just click on next. Now, can we proceed with the installation now? Yes, please. Can we install? Yes. Now the installation is running. Yes, it's coming up. Now finish. Start Oracle virtual machine after installation. No, I'll start it myself. So just click on finish. Now VirtualBox has been installed into your system. Let me show you. If you look here, you can see it on my desktop. Remember, I checked the box to create a shortcut on my desktop. So now it's here. Now let's go ahead and install our Vagrant as well. So right here, this is our Vagrant. So I'm going to double click on it. It's coming up. Preparing to install. Computing space. Next, just click on next. Check this box to accept the terms and license agreements. Next, I would advise you should leave it the way it is. Then click on next. Then install. Now Vagrant is being installed on our system. I would advise you should watch this video for the first time, then watch it again, then have your system by your side and be following along so you won't make any mistake. Okay, so now let me just do a quick recap. We've installed VirtualBox on our system. We downloaded it from the website and we installed it. We also did the same thing with Vagrant. We are doing the installation right now. I'm also going to leave the link to download Vagrant in the description below. Click on it and download right away. Now this is installing. It is updating the components. It is generating the script operations for action. It's coming up. Vagrant is almost installing. So yes, Vagrant has been successfully installed on our system. You say you must restart your system for the configuration changes. I'm going to restart my system and I'll come back to you guys. Okay guys, I've restarted my system. Now let's go ahead and open our command prompt. Should in case you don't know how to open command prompt on your system, I'm going to drop the link to this documentation for you in the description, okay? Because I want to assume you're a complete beginner. You don't know how this works, so I'm going to drop the link for you so you can go through it. All right, I hope that is okay by you. This is what you need to know. Just search the start menu for command prompts. Alternatively, in Windows 10 or 11, you can right click the start button and select Windows Terminal. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Come to your Windows, click on search. In the search icon, just type in Cmd. It's going to prompt your command prompt for you. This is your command prompt, okay, your system command prompt. But as for me, I don't normally use this command prompt. Okay, I have a command prompt installer that I use for myself, a command emulator. All right, please, you can go ahead and use this for yourself. It is not compulsory you use this one I'm about to recommend to you. You just come to Google and type in Cmder. Okay, it's a portable console emulator for Windows. All right, this is just the website. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can just check it out. It's not compulsory you install it. All right, but this is what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to click on download full. Okay, so I'm going to click on download full. It is a zip file, so I'm going to go ahead and unzip it. So the download has started. If you come here, you can see it's downloading right here to my system. It has been downloaded on my system. As you can see now, I'm just going to click on it so I can show it in the folder. Okay, so here it is right here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create a folder so I can unzip it inside the folder. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder right here. So I'm going to name it Vagrant. You should do the same. Okay, So I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to extract here, or extract to Cmder. Now it's been extracted. So I'm just going to click on close. This is optional, remember, this is optional. You can go ahead and use your system command prompt, alright, but me, I just prefer using the emulator. So what you have to do is double click on it, and you see where you see this Cmder inside that folder. This is where you're going to click. So just double click on this. Imagine if this occur on your own too, that means you're not connected to the internet, so it requires your internet connection. So I'm going to on my internet connection right now. So I'm going to click on run because I'm connected to the internet now. When you see this warning, just click on ignore and continue. It's coming up. Just give it time. Now you are in. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is check the version of Vagrant that you installed on your system. Just type Vagrant -v, then you enter. So it's going to show you if Vagrant has been successfully installed on your system. Now it's telling me I'm having Vagrant 2.3.0 version as at the point of recording this video, okay, and that is the exact one I'm having on Vagrant's website. So that means we are good to go. So now the next thing we're going to do is to create another folder. I'm going to go back. I'm going to create another folder right here, and I'm going to name it Ubuntu. Please follow up, this is very important. If you don't do this, you're going to get an error. Alright, so I've created another folder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that folder I just created. I'm going to double click, and I'm going to, you see this path here, I want to copy this path so I can see the into it on my command prompt. Just click on it. You can see it has highlighted it for me, and I'm just going to copy. Right click and click on copy. Okay, just come back and type in inside your command prompt cd, then Ctrl V. So it's going to paste that folder here. Enter. So now we are inside that folder. As you can see, before we are inside my laptop folder, okay, but right now we are inside the Ubuntu folder. Now we have to start our installation. Okay, let's go back to our notepad. We've downloaded VirtualBox, we've installed VirtualBox, we've downloaded Vagrant, and we've installed it. We've opened our command prompt too. So it is time to add Ubuntu image to our box. Alright, so what we're going to do is you have to execute your command line in your terminal, and we've done that. Let's add Ubuntu focal into our terminal. Alright, so before we do that, let me show you what these boxes are. Okay, let me show you what they represent. If you come to Vagrant right here, you can discover Vagrant boxes. Okay, that is what we want to do. We want to install the Vagrant boxes inside our VirtualBox, which is our virtual environment, the virtual machine we're going to be using. Okay, Ubuntu is what we want to install because we want to work on Linux operating system. As you can see here, we have so many options to use. I'll advise to go with the one that have a lot of downloads. Okay, it means it is working for people. All right, as you can see, this one has 30 million plus download, almost 40 million downloads. Okay, so if you click on it, you should click on new. In this video we are going to be using this Vagrant box focal 64. So just type in Vagrant box. You are giving the instruction. This is a command. All right, Vagrant box add. Then what do you want to add? Remember what we did when we came here. You click on new. So this is what you want to do, Trusty 64. But in my case, I am using Ubuntu focal 64. Vagrant box add Ubuntu focal 64. You can actually use another one. You just type in Vagrant box add Trusty 64. All right, instead of focal 64, you just say Trusty 64. But we're going to be using focal 64. All right, it is downloading already. As you can see, it's coming up. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to pause this video so I won't waste your time, and I'm going to come back after it has been successfully installed. Stay tuned. So guys, immediately you see successfully added box Ubuntu focal 64 for VirtualBox. That means you've added Ubuntu box inside your Vagrant. very simple. Instead of you to download the operating system of Ubuntu, Vagrant is going to help you with the help of virtual machine, which is the VirtualBox environment that we installed. So I want to clear my screen so I can have a better view. You know, I have so many things on my screen right now, so just type in clear. Now you've seen it has been successfully added. Now the next thing is for you to initialize the Ubuntu box inside your Vagrant. So you come here again and copy everything you have here, Vagrant init Ubuntu /trusted64. But in my case, I'm going to use Vagrant init Ubuntu focal 64. Yes, you know, I am using my focal 64. It is time to create our virtual machine. So I'm going to copy this. Yes, so I've copied that. So I'm just going to Ctrl V. So what you're doing is you are giving an instruction to your command prompt to initialize Ubuntu into your Vagrant. So I'm going to enter. It's going to do the initialization now. It's going to take a while. Probably I'm going to pause this video again and come back. So guys, Vagrant file has been placed in this directory. You know, we firstly created a newly folder which I named Ubuntu. Let's go back to that folder and let me show you. See now, if you remember, this folder was actually empty where we click here to copy the path, but right now we have Vagrant file installed on it automatically. That is to tell you the initialization has taken place successfully. Let's go back into our notepad. It will generate a Vagrant file with base Ubuntu focal 64, and in your case, if you are using the trusted 64, then it's going to generate Ubuntu /trusted 64. You don't have to execute this command line every day. You only do it once. Now that we've done it, that is the first and the last time you're going to do it. Okay, it is just once you're going to create a virtual machine, and once you've done it, now you just continue running your code. So now let's install Vagrant plugins to avoid issues with the latest version of Vagrant. Okay, we're going to use this command: Vagrant plugin install Vagrant VBGuest. Okay, it's optional, but it's really good, so you won't have to run into any issue anytime you want to run your code. Ctrl V. So I'm going to install the plugin so it will let me run my code successfully. You see, Vagrant plugin install Vagrant VBGuest. Installing the Vagrant plugin. This can take a few minutes. It's even telling you this can take a few minutes, so let's just wait. Okay, so now you see, installed the plugin Vagrant VBGuest. The plugin has been successfully installed. The next thing we're going to do is Vagrant up. Okay, because when we do this, it will start our virtual machine, and the Vagrant SSH, it is when we're now inside our virtual machine. All right guys, just come here and type in Vagrant up. This is going to take a while, like a lot of time. You have to relax. Okay, if you just type it and you're saying that your system is stopping, is not doing anything, just give it time. It's going to come up. All right, just relax. So I'm going to enter. Now we are entering our virtual machine. Let's give it time. It's bringing the machine default up with VirtualBox provider. It's checking if box Ubuntu focal 64 version is up to date. Guys, this took, I think, around 7 to 9 minutes. Now our box has been generated. Now we have Vagrant up. We are inside our VirtualBox. I got so many people telling me each time they type Vagrant up, they used to get error. It's because you don't do it correctly. At least you can see the way I did this, step by step, following every process. That is why I jotted everything down in a notepad so you can follow along. If you do it the exact way I just did mine, you are not going to get any error again. Okay, so the next thing you're going to type in Vagrant SSH. Okay, so just type in Vagrant SSH, enter. This is also going to take some time, but it's not going to take that much time like Vagrant up command. As you can see, when you see the $sign, that is to tell you you are inside the Ubuntu Linux operating system. You can start your code right here. Next time you're coming back, let's say now I'm inside my code right now. This is what I used to do if I want to come back to this. You know, I can't just open my command prompt forever. You get, I have to close it probably when I'm done coding and I want to do that stuff. You can just type exit, enter. You can see now log out, connection closed. Then I'm going to close this back. So that's it, I'm done. So let's say I want to come back to it again. I'll just go to my folder. You see now, this is the Ubuntu. Okay, let me come back. You remember how we created Ubuntu folder, which is empty? Now it has files inside. It is no longer empty. So each time I want to work on code, I'll just open this folder and I'll come back to this path. I'm going to copy it. So this is another thing that I used to do. This Cmder, that's what I use. So once I double clicked on it, I'm going to pin it to my tags bar. Okay, so I can quickly access it. I don't have to be going to my folder to access it anytime I want to do that. So I'll pin it to my tags bar so it will be there. So I'll just type in cd into that folder again, Ctrl V, then I'll start my job, I'll start my work, I'll start my code. Okay, it's another way to do this. You can also use git bash. Maybe I'm going to upload another video which shows you how to run your code inside git bash. Once I cd into it, I'll start any code. I'm just cd, or I'll create some directory, then I'll start doing my thing. Probably create directory hospital. I can cd into the directory. I can just cd into it, and I'll start whatever I want to do inside the hospital folder. Okay, if I want to link this to my GitHub, maybe I'm going to upload another video because this video is already long and I don't want it to be too long than it is already. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got value, and if this video has helped you, kindly subscribe to this channel and like this video so it can be shown to other people who need this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.